Hi, my name is Audrey. I'm here with my teammates Eliza, Ethan, and Brendan. We're students in the Interactive Arts Technology major, and today we'll be presenting our project, Wörkestra.
Done as part of a 4-month directed study, Wörkestra is an experimental research and design project which aims to redefine interpersonal connection under the context of a global pandemic. With our proposed design of an at-work solution for social isolation, we hope to advocate for new ways workers can interact with each other in a dynamic remote environment. As the amount of workers being moved towards remote workdays has sharply increased due to the COVID-19 pandemic, adjusting to the sudden transition towards a new work environment has been accompanied by problems such as a rise in social isolation and a disproportionate work-life balance. This is illustrated by a report done by Statistics Canada, finding approximately 4.7 million Canadians who did not usually work from home did so during the week of March 22nd to the 28th. Surveying 41 knowledge workers, we discovered the use of video conferencing platforms is proportionally equal to the use of conventional text-based platforms such as email. However, despite employers and workers navigating to find a space to reimagine the physical communication done within a conventional workplace, it was found that the percentage of workers saying that the video calls make them feel connected to their workers and coworkers has plummeted with increased use. As the use of these platforms increased, the amount of workers noting a disconnect with their workers has sharply risen. We discovered that with 95.1% of survey respondents, that it was difficult getting to know their coworkers in a remote setting, noting awkwardness, inconvenience, and confusion about availability being listed as the primary reasons.
So based on this problem area, we identified 3 main frictions or concerns that knowledge workers are having during remote work. The first is that new hires often feel isolated from their workplace community and struggle to find their place in their team. As a new hire, they don't have established relationships with their coworkers, which results in the feelings of awkwardness and difficulty in figuring out boundaries in remote work settings. The second friction is that many knowledge workers found that the lack of visibility in remote work as a challenge. They found it hard to know which coworkers are present throughout the day and often had concerns with knowing when to strike up conversations or ask quick questions, and overall feeling like it was a more isolating experience. The third friction is that newly remote workers miss the spontaneity of an office environment and often feel like these social interactions that they have are more forced. So based on these 3 frictions, we created a persona, Edith, who encompasses these experiences. Edith is a new hire and a junior software developer who's struggling to find her place within her team. Having just started her new job remotely, she finds that her interactions with her teammates are much less frequent, and she feels quite lonely and unsupported at work. So with Edith, we identified 2 goals and 1 frustration that she does have. Her first goal is to have comfort and confidence with her coworkers. She really hopes to have more camaraderie and mutual assistance with her team. The second goal is workplace visibility. In between meetings, Edith is very focused and hardworking with her individual tasks, and she really wants her team and supervisors to be aware of how hard she's working. Her main frustration is that she feels disconnected from her team. Being a software developer, she recognizes the importance of teamwork. However, remote work has created an environment that feels much more competitive, where people are working longer hours, and this causes her to feel disconnected from her community. So based on our persona, we created our desktop application, Wörkestra.
Wörkestra is a desktop app that allows remote workers to see and hear each other's mouse and keyboard clicks. Each time a user clicks their keyboard or presses their mouse, a small musical note will play on the interface. With our app, teams are able to play music together through the workday. Wörkestra is an exploration of how teams can be more present with one another while bringing joy to the workday. Within the application, each team member can pick their own instrument as a way of distinguishing their sounds from their other coworkers. Teams can mix and match instruments to change the sounds they've been hearing throughout the day. Instruments were added for remote workers to be used as a method of expression. On days where remote workers feel like they're moving at a slower pace, they can pick brass instruments like the trumpet or the trombone. But if they're feeling energized and excited, they can pick high energy instruments like the marimba or the drums. With our wiggle interaction, we wanted to emulate the experience of tapping a coworker on the shoulder. Teammates are able to wiggle their coworker's emoji, distorting their coworker's sound and notifying them through the sound distortion. To grab everybody's attention, you can wiggle the whole team in situations such as team meetings or general announcements.
Wörkestra looks out for certain keywords such as coffee or taking a break to give your team a hint about what you're doing and where you are in your workday. Typing these keywords in any application automatically sends an emoji to the team, but only if you have this feature turned on in the settings. To help you feel more connected to your team, Wörkestra shows when you and your coworkers are all in the zone by making your icon shiny and your instrument sound more resonant. This happens when you and your coworkers type above 90 words per minute for an extended period of time. If you need to step away from your computer, you can let your team know by simply pressing the away button before and after you go on your break. During this time, your coworkers won't be able to see or hear any of your keyboard clicks. By simplifying availability status down to a single click, our goal is for more remote workers to use this feature so that their teammates know when is or isn't a good time to reach out to them. Next, we added several extra features for team leads in Wörkestra. As admins, they're able to add members to the team and edit the job title that appears next to each employee's icon. They can also set an optional tempo for the workday, which has to do with both the music being played and the expectations that they're setting for the team. When it comes to the visual design, our goal was to create a playful interface that's also work appropriate. Here's a minimized view that we designed for team members who want to keep their coworkers on the side without getting too distracted. And here we have a light and a dark theme so that coworkers can pick their preferred aesthetic. Now, as we near the end of our presentation, we want to share two guiding principles that served as the foundation for how we designed these new interactions. First, don't cause stress, because there are enough reasons to be stressed in remote work, and this application definitely shouldn't be one of them. And second, really use sound and color as a way of keeping remote workers connected during the many moments when they aren't in conversation throughout the workday. In conclusion, Wörkestra aims to help reduce workplace isolation during COVID-19 by creating a more informal and joyful way for remote teams to connect throughout the workday. We hope you enjoy your presentation about Wörkestra. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Our team will be answering questions in the chat box.